to you today as someone who carries within him the true aspirations of Zeon.
The following contains spoilers for The Last Jedi. You have been warned. So by now, most of you have seen The Last Jedi. And this is the most divisive Star Wars movie in all of Star Wars movie history.
I'm being torn apart. I want to be free of this pain.
If only I could have Rian Johnson grab a deactivated lightsaber and then activate it right inside his stomach and watch him fall to his death. But seriously, guys, The Last Jedi left a lot of people scratching their heads, really just upset with the direction of this movie, and I was one of them. I went to the premiere. I was talking about it for weeks. Hell, my girlfriend got mad at me because all I cared about was going to see Star Wars. A lot happened that I have to process. And I've taken some time, and I've processed. And these are going to be the top 10 bad things about Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Number 10. Starting out on my list is a gripe that a lot of fans have, and I agree with them. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie that just don't fit or aren't in the right place. Like, who gives two f***s about these non-alien-looking caretakers? You could literally cut that whole part out where they are mad at Rey for blowing up the hole in the temple, and they're mad at her for a rock smashing a little cart thing, and you wouldn't miss a damn thing in this movie. Actually, you don't even know that they're there. Rey walks out of the temple, nothing's there. All of a sudden, Luke points out there's a hole, and she turns around, look! All these little Muppet things are running around fixing things. Let's talk about Finn. In the last movie, Finn got his ass kicked by my bae and my spirit animal, Kylo Ren. We thought he was in a coma, seriously injured. He wakes up at the very beginning of this movie, which, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, starts very, very shortly after Force Awakens, so there's not a lot of time for him to recover. And yet, he's made a joke, a laughingstock, as soon as he wakes up. Here comes Bubble Boy running down the Resistance ship. Low waters flying everywhere. Who was that for? Kids don't even think that's funny. What? There could have been so much tension. When is Finn going to wake up? When he wakes up, he's going to be looking for Rey. Maybe he's going to go save Rey. No, let's put Finn in a side quest with Rose here. We'll get to that because that's a whole nother separate gripe of mine. Some of the Porg stuff wasn't too bad, but did we really need to see a Porg Looney Tuning against the Millennium Falcon cockpit window? No, we didn't. Kylo and Hux have too many jokes at the end when it's supposed to be a serious moment. What else? There's probably other things that I can't remember off the top of my head because I would like to forget them. So, this movie tries to be like a Marvel movie. And I don't know if you guys have a clue. If I wanted to see a Marvel movie, I'd go see a Marvel movie. I didn't go to see a Marvel movie. I went to see a Star Wars movie. And I got this slapstick humor where it didn't belong. Turning to the dark side as we speak, and we're already only at the beginning of this list. Oh no. Number 9. At number 9, we have one of my favorite characters from Force Awakens being a complete moron. But really, if you look at what he did, he's not a moron. But what did they do to Poe? Poe in Force Awakens is badass, best pilot in the universe, blows up 12 or so TIE fighters during the Battle of Takodana, blows up the Star Killer base. And apparently that's all he wants to do is blow stuff up. He gets no respect from none of the other officers in the movie. Even though he gets scolded and demoted by Leia for destroying the Dreadnought because he lost pilots, didn't he just save all of you? Because if he didn't, even if he went to light speed, the First Order was tracking them, the Dreadnought would have went to light speed with the rest of the First Order and been like, hey look, there's a ship over there, let's use the big cannon to blow it up. Boom! Movie's over. End credits. But Poe is made to look like a moron. All he wants to do is blow stuff up. But really, I don't blame him for being the way he is in the movie. Admiral Holdo acted like an inept leader, and that's due to bad writing. Speaking of Admiral Holdo, number 8. What was the point of her character? She didn't even seem like an admiral to me. She seemed like a third school grade teacher scolding everyone around her. And I don't know, I didn't buy her as an admiral. More so, do you all realize, and this is from the bad writing that I dislike in this movie, I don't like being able to poke holes so easily in a Star Wars movie. Don't get me wrong, there are inconsistencies in the movie, but I don't recall, and someone can comment down below if I'm wrong, a Star Wars movie where the entire plot revolved around one person not telling someone what the f***ing plan was! That was the whole plot line. For the Resistance, for Finn, Rose, Benicio del Toro's character. Because this Admiral Purplehair wouldn't just tell everyone, hey guys, the plan is we're going to go that way and we're going to get to this planet called Crate. And when we pass the planet, we're going to send cloaked transports to the planet and I'm going to lead off the First Order and you guys are going to call for help and hunker down. Even in the movie, and I've watched the movie multiple times, even in the movie, Poe tries so hard to get the answer. He asks her, are we going to make the night, or we're not going to make the night? And she says yes, like, yes, we're not going to make it to the night. Which, by the way, they're in space. How do you know when it's night? And then when he finds out that she's feeling transport, she acts like, oh no, he found my big secrets. I must not tell him anything. I thought she was a traitor. I was like, oh, maybe she's a First Order traitor. That would have made so much sense. She's not telling them the plan because her plan is just to keep going until the First Order blows everyone up. Maybe she's fueling a transports so that she can get one of them and leave. Nope, she just didn't want to tell them what the plan was. And all these people in the transport die because Poe thinks she's a complete inept leader and does something about it. Unbelievable. 7. Moving on to our next point, Canto Bight. And we'll throw in Benicio del Toro's character, whose name is DJ. Okay? What a complete pointless waste of the movie. Even my mother agrees, and my mother loves Star Wars. She's the reason why I love Star Wars. Said, why was that in the movie? It didn't seem like Star Wars to me. I said, you're right. It didn't. Because it doesn't. And it takes away from the tension of the matter. They're there to assist and get this code breaker to sneak on the Snoke ship, and Finn's going around going, oh, look, this place is great. Look how beautiful. It's the Wizard of Oz here. And then Rose is talking about animal cruelty and the war not war propaganda, selling war weapons to make profits. And that would have been an interesting storyline had it not been for the fact that they're there to save the entire Resistance. How do you stop and put that in there? And it just seems like it's not important anymore. Let's get to Benicio del Toro's character, who I like as an actor, but why is he stutter? You couldn't even understand half the stuff he said. It's like a Bugs Bunny character. We made a deal.
It's time to do.
But this was Star Wars, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Pointless character, pointless setting to fit in all the lines in the movie. It's like, oh, it was, they freed all the horse animal, space animal things. I don't know the name. I don't care to know. And then Rose goes, and Finn goes, oh, it was worth it. And Rose goes, click, now it's worth it. It's like, what about the hundreds of people that are depending on you? Oh, and slave kids, we just want to free the animals. I get what they were trying to do. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not going to sit here and say, this is not political for me. This is just in the realm of the Star Wars movie that we got. This plot makes no sense. It takes away from the main plot, and it diverts your attention, the character's attention, from doing the important thing that they're supposed to be doing. The entire Resistance, their survival was based on them getting this code breaker. So, they made... Oh, and I'm going to talk about what they did to my boy Finn. He should have died. Well, next point. 6. Let's get to Finn and Rose as a character arc. Whew. Easily the worst scene in the movie is when the First Order is coming in with a battering ram cannon, real original by the way, and they're going to blow up this Resistance base on Crate, this door cracker. Again, everyone is depending on the Resistance and these skim speeders to stop them. Finn is told by Poe, as a callback to the beginning of the movie, to retreat, just like Leia told Poe. She told him to be a leader. Now he's being a leader. He's looking out for his men, telling him to retreat. Beautiful callback. I loved it. And Finn doesn't listen. He's going to keep going. He's going to sacrifice himself for the first time in this trilogy. He's not going to run away. He's going to do the most heroic thing he can do and save all of his friends. And right when he's about to do it, he gets cock-blocked by Rose. In the premiere, I was like, yeah. Everyone in the premiere was like, go, Finn, go. And then, there goes his manhood. It's over there somewhere. Don't know where. And people are going on and they're saying this is about feminism and all this bullshit. It's just bad writing. Let's be honest. It's just bad writing. Then, the worst line in the movie, I shook my head so hard. I have neck pain right now. Rose goes, that's not how we're going to win. We're not fighting the things we hate. We have to save the things we love. It's a good line, actually. But as soon as she says that, the First Order is blowing the shit out of the door. Completely detracting from the point that she's making, because Finn was trying to save those that he loved and cared about, and you ruined it. And now you, as far as the story and character is concerned, you just doomed the Resistance because you wanted to save the only man who would talk to you because you're a plumber. And then she kisses him as, this is supposed to be like a Disney moment. She kisses him as the fireworks are going off in the background. That would have been kind of cool. Except the fireworks, again, was the Resistance door blowing up! That's not romantic! That's stupid! Stupid! Levels of stupid. Stupid, as stupid, that was stupid! Oh. Number 5. Time to get to a biggie. One of the first parts of the movie. First 20 minutes or so, Kylo takes a bunch of his TIE fighters and he's going to attack the Rebel cruiser. He hesitates to kill his mother. He's still torn inside. Great, beautiful, loved it. The TIE fighters come out of nowhere, off screen, blow up the bridge, killing Leia. Or so we all thought. And we saw her floating in space and her theme was playing. And it was beautiful. It's like, this is a good send-off for her. Because war is rough and raw. Death can happen at any time. I thought Leia was going to fly into space and that was how she would die. You see her floating away majestically. And that would be her send-off. But nope! She wakes up and she Supermans to the ship! Now don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. In Star Wars, in Legends? Is that what it's called, right? In Legends, this happens. Okay, you create a force bubble around yourself, and you use the force to pull yourself to the ship. Fine. Okay, that's a real thing. I can see that. But I just can't see Leia doing it. And not only that, but the way they shot it. I just was like, why? In the premiere, I was like, no, not you, Carrie, not you. I could see Snoke doing that. People laughed during that scene, and it wasn't supposed to be a funny scene. But people laughed at both showings I went to, the premiere and when I went on Sunday after. So, yeah. That was bad. That was shit. Number 4. Alright, let's talk about Luke. While Luke is a good part of the movie and partially a bad part of the movie, and the only reason why I say that is because some of the things he does just aren't in character. First of all, why do we need to see Luke Skywalker milking alien cow teats? What? And then the alien thing looks at Rey like, hey, you want some of this? What the f... You could cut that out of the movie as well and it wouldn't make any difference to the plot. We waited 2 years for this big moment. We waited 2 years for a conversation. All you had to do was write good dialogue. Like I said, how did you get my father's lightsaber? What are you doing here? How did you find me? Nope. We don't get nothing whatsoever. This is a reenactment of the scene from Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Nah. All you had to do is write a good dialogue. We waited 2 years for a conversation. JJ had us, hook, line, and sinker. with a literal cliffhanger. And you just f***ed it up. Hey guys, while editing this, I forgot to mention, everyone, I completely forgot to talk about Luke's death. And I want to say this. You know who I blame for Luke's death? Rose! I blame Rose! I blame you! You dumb Because if you would have let Finn do what he wanted to do and be a hero, then the Resistance might have had time to escape. But no, Luke had to do it because you stopped Finn. So, Rose killed Luke Skywalker. And that's why his death sucks. Rose killed Luke Skywalker. Number 3. First Order. And how it was treated in this movie. Every admiral, captain, general, whoever, bunch of morons, all of them. And let's get on to the big things in this movie. Why is it that the First Order never have any kind of threat for less than like 10 minutes? In Force Awakens, it was Starkiller Base, they blew that up. I really believe that Starkiller Base was going to last all 3 movies as this looming threat constantly, all the time. I was like, wow, how are they going to take down a planet? Oh yeah, we're just going to fly into it like the Death Star, blow up the thing, and it blows up, yeah. And in this movie, then we get introduced to the First Order Dreadnought. Bombers all sacrificed themselves to blow up the Dreadnought. There goes threat number 1. Boom, gone. The Supremacy. The biggest ship in Star Wars history. Even bigger than the Eclipse, which is not even canon anymore. Blown up already. No threat whatsoever. Actually, the Supremacy serves no threat in this movie at all. It really doesn't. It blows up the ships that lose fuel, blows them up, but that's it. There is no threat from the Supremacy whatsoever. Again, you give the First Order something intimidating, something menacing, so that the main characters fear for their lives. You're like, oh no, this new thing the First Order has. Is it going to be this big threat? Who's going to die? Nobody. We're going to go to light speed. We're going to shatter it in half. Don't get me wrong, that scene was really cool. I liked it. But you're telling me that in 1,000 years of hyperspace travel in Star Wars, Admiral Purple Hair is the first one to realize that you can go to light speed and blow something up? And really, I feel like her death should have been in vain. I feel like she should have went to hyperspace, hit the Supremacy shields, and she should have blown up. Captain Phasma. Great actor. Awesome character design. We wanted more from her. Didn't get it. Got a 25-second fight. We find out that she's laser-proof, but apparently not stun baton proof. And she falls, supposedly to her death. But even if she comes back in Episode 9, who really gives a shit anymore about Captain Phasma? She's been inept since The Force Awakens. You didn't make her a badass in this movie to make up for making her look stupid in Force Awakens, so what's the difference? Snoke. Never got to know anything about him, how he brought the Empire together and made the First Order, why he's so powerful, what are all the scars on his faces, is he really Darth Plagueis? We see how powerful he is in the movie. All his scenes were enthralling. I was like, wow, I really like this character. Don't get me wrong, the death was really interesting, not really all that surprising because you see Kylo turning the lightsaber, then maybe in my head I'm like, oh no, he's going to stop it. No, got him, killed him. That was also a good part of the movie because it was different. I didn't think they would kill off Snoke. But it's also bad because this character in this movie is so interesting. So all the First Order ideas and characters were wasted in this movie, if you really think about it. And it's a shame. There's no threat, except from Kylo. He's just killing everybody. He doesn't even care anymore. Number 2. And this brings us on to our next point. There were questions set up in Force Awakens that everyone wanted answered in this movie. Who are Rey's parents? Who is Snoke? What is Luke going to say to Rey? Who are the Knights of Ren? And the answers we did get were, depending on how you look at it, shit or non-existent. We find out from Kylo, if you want to believe Kylo, that Rey's parents are junkers that sold her for drinking money. She is nobody. It's basically the Force balancing itself out with Kylo, and the Force chose Rey to be that person to balance it out. Okay, fine. But Snoke dies, we don't know anything about him. I'm sure there'll probably be a book or something about him. The Knights of Ren are mentioned once again in this movie by Luke. Nothing about them. I thought maybe they would be the Praetorian Guard. Apparently they're not. Oh, another main story thing from Force Awakens is how Maz Kanata got Luke's lightsaber. Don't know. Guess it wasn't that important. Just a plot device, just like it is in this movie. It's a plot device. Luke doesn't even react to getting the lightsaber, just throws it over his shoulder. Later, the movie is used as a plot device again, where Kylo and Rey rip it in half, so Rey will have to make a new lightsaber now. I'm disappointed, and the things that were set up in the last movie weren't answered properly in this movie by Rian Johnson. Which leads me to bad thing number 1. Mr. Johnson, come on up.
Number 1.
The number one thing that's wrong with this movie is the director. I'm sorry. That's my feelings. This is why, and I'll explain myself as best as I can. The Last Jedi is a direct sequel to Force Awakens with no time gaps. This is the first time in Star Wars movie history we've had 2 movies that really are one long-ass movie. So if your sequel movie is of a different tone, if it doesn't build upon the established things in the movie before it, it's not going to work. And that's what happened here. Force Awakens and Last Jedi are one long movie. Last Jedi starts a minute, 10 seconds after they meet. So when you have a change in directors and the tone shifts to this weird Marvel-esque comedy, swerving just to swerve people, and that's how I feel about it. I feel like, we're watching a movie and we think we know what's going to happen, and instead of it being a meaningful plot twist, it's just like a swerve just to be like, aha, you didn't see that coming, aha, gotcha, it's a gotcha moment, and that, unless it's for a reason, that's not good storytelling. And because we have different directors, I don't know how the process at Disney worked as far as this movie. I'm not going to pretend to know. But if I had to think of it in my mind how it went, Rian Johnson looked at the script for Force Awakens and he went, and then he goes, yeah, you know what? Snoke, nah, we don't need him. Knights of Ren, who are they? Oh, you know what'd be funny? Instead of Luke having a meaningful conversation, let's have him throw his lightsaber over his shoulder. That'll be funny. Rey's parents, they're not important, even though they talked about it so much in the last movie. People acted like they knew who she was. And not just the tone, the failure to expand on what happened in Force Awakens, but the storytelling. The story of the Resistance running from the Empire is laughable, because in this movie, the Empire has technology to track them through light speed. Okay, fine. Why are they chasing them until they run out of gas? Just send 3 Star Destroyers in a triangle that way and cut them off and pincer the shit out of them and just blow them all up. Just the Resistance storyline was garbage. It's stupid. It's decisions that don't make sense. Writing that's just lazy. I love Star Wars. Obviously. This is the most disappointing I've ever felt for a Star Wars movie, and it's really depressing. And it sucks because there's really good parts in this movie, but there's such shit. Just drags it down. But guys, this is my 10 top bad things of The Last Jedi. Don't worry, it's not going to be all negative. I have 10 top good things about The Last Jedi too, so check out that video as well. I'm trying to create a balance between Last Jedi fans. The bad and the good. The light and the dark. Rey and Kylo. Come on. Trying to stay positive. I'm really trying. Check out my other videos, guys. I am working on a huge diorama for this sequel trilogy, actually. It's going to be a hanger for the Black Series TIE Fighter. Started working on that. You can see my Flame Trooper custom and Jump Trooper custom. I'll be showing off my Resistance Trooper customs for this diorama. Custom explosions and building this damn thing. It's going to be humongous. So check that out. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if I missed any bad parts about The Last Jedi that you want to mention. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Try to maintain a sense of civility in the comment section, please. We're all Star Wars fans here. I've had really good discussions with other Star Wars fans about the movie that didn't turn into name-calling and snowflaking and all this crap. So try and be adults, please. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe for more content. Check out the top 10 good things of The Last Jedi. And, as always, Sing Zeon! I don't know why I'm still holding this.